Okay, quickly. The third chapter was trade. So that is all the other topics you had in quarter 7 international trade law, in terms of custom duties, these types of barriers, technical barriers, product qualification issues, up to and including environmental issues connected to trade. And that is something we will not discuss in this course, but I allow you one question.
No, I just want to confirm that we're not, at least last time you said.
Exactly. And so, but please register it as chapter 3. So we have 3 chapters, or 3 phases of the recipe, where no foreign state is involved. Where you use the idea of capitalism, offer an acceptance and deal making to get local economies work with foreign direct investment and trade. And oh, by the way, I forgot to mention that remittance are also other private flows. So I forgot to mention that. So that is the purchasing of shares in a Brazilian company, but also the remittance. So 3 flows in Chapter 2, mobilizing international private resources, foreign direct investment, portfolio investment, and remittance. Chapter 3 is the trade, and then chapter 4 is official development assistance. Chapter 4 of the recipe is, okay, here we are rich states, there you are poor states, here we have sort of responsibility on the one side, bad conscience on the other side, and the Marshall help thinking. If these states are in ruins, who can we sell our products to? Marshall, after the Second World War, was not a sort of philanthropist. He was not necessarily concerned with Europe. Oh, the poor Europeans, they shot themselves last 6 years. No, it was in the interest of the United States of America to mobilize state funds in the US to pump it across the Atlantic, distributed by the predecessor of the OECD, who distributed to the countries to rebuild Europe. And so that is part of this heritage of official development assistance. And that is where the sources try to get the legal sources try to get their head around what are then the rules of ODA. Well, what is the standard of behavior of states in their assistance, formerly known as aid, development aid? Should they send a check? Should they send expertise? How much should they send? The international community is one of those rules. Decide 0.7% of your rich country GDP should be used on official development assistance. There's no state getting to that amount. Then the 5th chapter is debt relief. So that is fixing the past. So in the last 70 years, you gave all kinds of loans. And debt relief is basically, after 70 years, to say, you know what? Forget about the debt. So debt relief is legally speaking a very easy tool. Is that you tear apart the loan agreement. Or you make a little new agreement. Herewith we agree that there's no obligation anymore to repay the money. 2 signatures, that's debt relief. We will not discuss that. That is an important tool, sort of give away from one country to the other. And then the last chapter is staying engaged. That the international community agreed and promised each other not to have this as a sort of trend, and that next year we move to another trend. Let's save the whales, but that it is a long-term commitment from the international community in the broader sense of the word. Why? Because development does not happen overnight. So it took the Netherlands until the mid-90s, since the Second World War, to get rid of sort of the idea that we are a poor country and bad off and so forth. And so that takes time. And there's another thing that takes time, and that is having a little break. And after the break we will link these stories with the sources that are present at your exam.